Welcome back to the Fight Rundown, episode 272, I think. How we doing, Balls? Another week, another pod.
Another pod. Some breaking news today is what we're bringing.
That's it. Massive news.
Yeah, massive UFC news, and I'm doing well, thanks, mate. How are you?
Good. Let's get straight into it. Jon Jones officially retires from the UFC after a long 15, 20-year career. The most title defenses of all time. Some people call him the GOAT. Some people call him a duck. We're going to get into it all today. But straight away, what are your initial thoughts with the announcement, Balls?
I think with the announcement, it was similar to what Conor McGregor was doing all that time for me, where it was like everyone was talking about, now McGregor's going to fight Chandler, and it never happened. I always said it. I feel like after that point, you can sort of tell what sort of fighters have still got their head in the game and still hasn't. I mean, you can see, posts on social media, the way that he's looking, like he's not in shape at all, is he? It just doesn't look like his head's in the game at all, similar to what McGregor was like. So, yeah, I could sort of see that it wouldn't happen. And then I did also see that he went on, which we'll probably talk about in a bit, he went on a podcast, didn't he? And then after like 15 minutes, they asked him about Aspinall, and he just walked off.
The Full Send podcast. Great podcast.
Yeah.
A great podcast, apart from ours. But yeah, quite simply, I think it's a bit of an earth-shattering announcement, only because of Tom Aspinall. It's kind of the elephant in the room in the way that is he retired because he don't want to fight Tom? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I think simply the answer is yes. I don't know where this... I don't know what it does for Jon Jones in terms of legacy. But one thing I do know is that it's definitely going to taint his record, his resume, obviously his legacy as well, for the rest of his career. Is he the GOAT?
No.
He's not the GOAT. Do you think this really affects the conversation?
Yeah, I do. It's massively damaged his reputation, as you say. But you know what? He wasn't my GOAT in the first place, to be honest. It was Mighty Mouse was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't see that at all. I mean, look, on his day, probably the baddest man on the planet. Yeah, but not the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. No, but yeah, it's massively tarnished his legacy, and Jon did it in his younger days as well. He fought some older guys, and now the tables have turned, and is not up for it.
Yeah, 100%. I think you've kind of nailed everything on the head right there. Sorry, just having a couple connection issues. Yeah, it's... I think we might be back. A second. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think it's a big problem. What was he saying? About tarnishing his legacy, this. Yeah, Tom Aspinall, it was the one, wasn't it? It was the fight. It was the biggest heavyweight fight of all time. Dana said it was probably maybe the biggest fight in UFC history with the way he was talking about it. Not going ahead now. Why do you think Jon Jones was so rattled about this and about fighting Tom Aspinall?
I don't know whether it's just because he doesn't think he can beat him, and it's almost like when every single person is all they ever say to you. You can imagine how frustrating it must be for him.
Did he bring that on himself though?
Yeah, by not fighting.
Yeah, by not. If he just came out all this time saying, "Yep, me and Tom are going to fight."
Yeah, and then
it would have made it less. The questions wouldn't have come as often.
No, because then
he
did win, didn't he? I can't remember whether it was against Stipe or whoever, and he said
it was Gane or Stipe.
It was either Gane or Stipe, and he said that if the money's right, then the fight can be made, and then just almost like he must have just known that he was never going to fight him anyway.
Well, saying that, apparently Jon Jones, this is only 3 weeks ago now, Jon Jones requested a certain amount of money and the UFC accepted it. UFC said, yeah, we'll do it, and then obviously backed out again. That's where it's getting a bit shady here.
Yeah.
Say if the number was, 50 million, and UFC said, yes, we're going to pay you the 50 million, you're getting what you wanted, and he still says no. He was quite clear, never had the... Dana White said otherwise for last year, though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He said, this fight's going to happen. it is, like we said, it's the bearer in the room that no one can avoid. John Jones, quite simply, does not want to fight Tom Aspinall, and he's retired because of it. Is there anything else that John Jones could have really done in this situation, or apart from fight him?
Like I said, there's not really. I mean, you in one way you can't really come out here and say I'm scared to fight him, can he? Or I don't want to fight him because of this, that, and the other. That's not really a good thing. But at the same time, that's a really tough one. I don't really know if there is anything else he could have done.
Dana didn't help the situation at all, did he?
It would be a big kick in the teeth for Dana White. This would, because you can imagine how, like I said before, like if you wanted to, you could easily sell out Wembley for something like this. You get so many fans in, it'd do so much money. So the fact that John just don't want to fight him, Dana must be quite frustrated with that.
Yeah, 100%. I
mean, he hasn't helped it. You're right.
Yeah, he's not saying the fight's going to happen. Talking about how much of the goat he is, for him to only duck Tom Aspinall. I mean, where does this leave the heavyweight division? I think it leaves it in a much better position than it was 2 days ago.
100%. I did also see Ngannou at the weigh-ins with Usman and whatever, so he's obviously
in the UFC gear as well, the Venom gear.
So he's obviously probably on good terms with Dana White at the moment.
I hope so.
That'd be nice, because it'd be nice to see him come back now. Now John Jones is gone, and you can imagine a huge. I think Ngannou against Aspinall might even be bigger. It might be even
my God!
Might even be a better fight.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's insane. That matchup is the one that everyone wants. I'd personally rather see Ngannou Aspinall versus Ngannou Jones.
Yeah,
maybe not. Maybe I do want to see Aspinall beat Jones. But yeah, like you said, the heavyweight division in a better place now. I don't know where this takes. Tom's lost years of his career, but he is still young.
The thing is now with it is Aspinall's already beaten a lot of the top contenders in that division now. And are we going to see another just pure dominated division unless Francis came back like in a crazy return? Like who's actually up there who's as good or can compete with Tom at the moment? But
I don't know, Jailton Almeida or I mean, it's you're pulling at strings either way, aren't you?
Is that's the thing, and that's the problem. We've got too many divisions at the moment, isn't it? So it's a tough one, but still in a better position because your champion wasn't fighting in the first place. So now you're going to have an active world champion. Heavyweights are going to be back. Heavyweight main events. It's going to be exciting.
Hopefully. Yeah. I don't want to be seeing a grapple fest, but it's got to be good. I think it's going to be positive for the UFC. John Jones, do you ever see him returning?
I think for a bit of money he would, yeah.
I think if Tom Aspinall drops the belt, John Jones is straight back into the UFC.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Then again, like, what if you put a crazy offer on the table, like a 80 million for John Jones? Do you reckon you've got to take that?
I think UFC offered that. I reckon he got offered every bit of money, but
that's crazy.
I think he needs to remember John Jones has more money than anyone in the sport, apart from McGregor. I mean, it's not like he's tight on money.
Are you fighting Tom Aspinall for £80 million?
Fighting him for 5k, mate.
5k?
5k, I'm taking that. What about you?
That's a trip to Miami, isn't it?
Oh, here it is, literally. Trip to anywhere.
It literally is,
Or just gamble it and then double the money and then to go wherever you want again.
I'd take
£100. Just fighting Tom. Come on, you can say you fought Tom Aspinall.
You know what I'd like? I'd like a nice 5 days at the Burj Al Arab in the nicest suite. Give me that. That'd be nice.
How much do you reckon that's worth? 25k?
I was going to say that's probably still like
5k a night?
20 grand probably, 25.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not much more to say on this apart from the fact that it is breaking news. I'm sure we're going to hear more in the coming weeks and we're going to follow it the best we can. We're going to keep, obviously, updating everything as it goes. But, for the time being, we hope you enjoyed. Big episode coming up. More guests coming up on the Fight Rundown. Make sure to check out all our old episodes. We've just reviewed the previous UFC pay-per-view. We'll keep them all updated. As long as with UFC, if this is the first time you're watching, we also cover boxing. So your whole combat sports facilities are catered to here. For now, I've been Juve.
I've been Bowles.
And we'll see you soon.
But with a